Rode microphones are the official microphones of Be Terrific. Find out more at rodemic.com. Welcome to the Michael Artsis Show. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for joining us. You are the Terrifics. You make Be Terrific special. Reach us on social media at Be Terrific TV, on Twitter, on Instagram, on all social media. And don't forget to join our Slack chat. And that is beterrific.com/Slack. You guys have asked for it, and now it's easier than ever to watch our live feed. All you have to do is go to beterrific.com. You don't have to type anything else in. Just scroll down the first little thing, and you'll see the player. You can also still go to beterrific.com/live, but I've made it easier than ever for you to be able to go to the site and watch our live show. Now, we're going to have Kaya Jones on in just a little bit. I'm really excited about that. We're going to play some tracks from her new album, and we're going to do a whole lot more. We're going to catch up with her, see how she's doing. I am really excited. And of course, we've got a whole lot of other things to get to. And next week's going to be amazing. And then Comic-Con, October 8th to the 11th. Don't forget about that. Join our Slack chat, beterrific.com/Slack. Right now, I want to introduce you to the amazing, the very talented, and the now blonde Kaya Jones. Last time we saw her, she was a redhead, and then we had her on just for audio, and we showed a picture of her with blonde hair. But now we've got her in the flesh. Hi, Kaya.
I know. I'm blonde.
I love the blonde hair. I think it looks amazing.
Thank you.
I like the red hair too, by the way.
I did too. It just was, it was a lot. You know, I'm not naturally a redhead, so it was hard. It was a lot of upkeep.
So you and I were talking off air right before you joined us about a lot of things.
Yeah.
You're an animal lover, first of all, which is amazing.
Big time.
And you've just adopted a new puppy you're picking up today.
Mm-hmm.
And that's partly due to the fact that you love animals. Now that'll be number 4 for you, which is, I mean, that's a lot of animals.
Well, no, I have 2 cats, and this would be the 4th dog. I mean, I literally have a permit. You have to get for the city, you have to, they come and they check your house to make sure you're not a loony, you know?
To have more than, how many animals?
I have in total,
Did we lose Kaya for a second, Greg?
Yeah, I think so.
We may have lost her. I think we're having a little internet issue here. I'll tell you what, why don't we take a quick break? We'll see if we can make this work, and we'll come back with a whole lot more for you. And Kaya, of course, on the Michael Artsis Show. We'll be back right after this. You guys are awesome. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. Rode microphones are the official microphones of Be Terrific. Find out more at rodemic.com. And take 2. Welcome back to the Michael Artsis Show. Thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully we've got the tech gremlins all worked out. We've got Kaya Jones joining us via Skype. She's on the left coast. Kaya, thanks so much for joining us, and I'm glad that you changed venues in your place, and I think we might have a better connection.
I think we might be okay now, because I had to change venues, yes.
Yes, I'm glad we've got you. You look amazing. I love the blonde hair. You were starting to say last time you were redhead, and that's not your natural color, and you were saying something about it.
Oh, and you were asking me about my animals. We
got past that. That's right. Yes.
Yeah, I have 6. So I have 2 cats and 4 dogs.
And how many?
You have to have a permit.
Yeah. How many do you have? How many can you have before you have to have a permit?
By the 4th dog, by the 3rd dog, you actually have to have a permit, depending on where you are located in your area. And I mean, they just want to make sure that they're not cooped up. You're not a hoarder. You know, these kinds of things.
That you take care of.
So it's no biggie.
I think it's awesome, and I love that you adopted your latest pet that you're picking up today, actually, which I think is great.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and there's kind of a sad story around it.
Yeah.
You kind of had a traumatic experience this week, didn't you?
I did, and I posted a whole thing on my Facebook about it. It was just I was on my way to the gym and I ended up trying to get traffic to stop. Traffic didn't stop on one side of the street. They did on the other side, and subsequently these two little babies were hit by a city bus and some cars. One of them was completely gone. The other one was left in a really rough state. I nearly got hit by a car trying to get to him, got to him, took him to a 24-hour emergency that's also, a veterinary hospital. So I thought I was doing the right thing, only to be told that they weren't really going to do much for him after I had handed him over, and that I couldn't receive any information about him to pay for his medical or adopt him. And then talking with the city and talking with other, pet places, adoption places, medical places, coming to find out this place was not really the best place I could have taken him to, but how would I have known? It was the only 24-hour thing on my side of town. So a lot of people do drop these animals off at these kinds of places. They should know. I've actually posted a link to who they are, where they are, and just a note to self, if you have a pet, take it actually to animal control, because if anyone can help it, they're 24 hours. And even adopt it, they would be the ones to help you with that process,
Yeah.
So it was tragic and sad, and it's now day 3, and I'm kind of getting, well, yesterday it was a big jump forward when I was able to not find any information on him, not be able to help him, or his sister that was killed by the cars, but I was able to meet a beautiful Chihuahua that was the same exact vibe as him and her, and they discount these animals on certain days at the shelters because they're very common dog that get turned over. As pit bulls are very common, they get turned over. And a lot of it's just, they may not be vicious. They just, where you live may not allow you to have a dog, or where you live may not allow you to have a pit bull. And so she's 3 years old, and she has a little tartar buildup, but she's beautiful.
Oh,
and
wow.
so I adopted her yesterday, which was a good feeling because it felt like I couldn't help the other two, but maybe their souls helped, me put forth helping her, and definitely want to do more with animal outreach now, more so than ever in the community of Nevada, for sure.
That's great and amazing, and it's really important. I have a dog, Nikki, myself. Nikki's an amazing dog, and I had to rush Nikki to the emergency. She's adopted, and I had to rush her to the emergency room in the middle of the night one night, and I kind of had the same experience as far as the coldness of the animal hospital that was 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I mean, Nikki was fine and all that stuff, but they weren't like, I brought her in and they weren't very happy to help me or explain anything. They took her away from me, and she was okay. She must have gotten bit by a spider or something that made her really blow up, but her face, I mean, I drove 120 miles an hour at 4 in the morning, and
oh yeah,
and
I mean, it's your baby.
Yeah, and if I had gotten pulled over, I was just going to be like, I was actually going to keep driving. I didn't really care. And I really, literally was driving 120 miles an hour to this place. As you told me off air, you left the door open, you ran in, you left the car running.
Oh yeah, my car, I mean, actually police stopped because I was like a hot mess, and they were on their way to a stabbing, and they wanted to help me, and they were, they were on their way to a call.
Wow.
But like, when you said if you were pulled over, police literally drive up going like, what the heck is going on? My car door is wide open.
Sure.
When I got to the, to the facility, I'd left everything. I was covered in blood. I mean,
wow.
But it wasn't like but it was on my arms and on my shirt and on my pants, nothing that I felt was like but you would do that for an animal. You would do it for a child. I mean, they're helpless.
Of course.
They're helpless. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't believe that nobody stopped.
Well, I had I had a
crazy.
similar experience to that when I was a kid, which it shakes me to this day, and I haven't
It's traumatic.
I haven't thought about in years until you told me the story. I found a pet. It was a German Shepherd. I was about 10 or 12 years old, and I convinced my mother to let me take it home because we didn't know whose it was. And I really had wanted a dog. And so we called all the shelters, and we called every place. like, this is somebody's dog. It was well trained. It had a collar, but the tag had fallen off. And so, like, we were just looking for this animal's home. And the next morning, I lived in a building with my mother that had a laundry room in the basement. And my mother said, why don't you bring the dog downstairs? You can, like, in the basement while I do the laundry, toss a tennis ball to it. Well, this basement was a laundry room and then had these corridors. And one of the corridors went to the garage. And the super of the building comes downstairs. And I asked him, you know, I kept saying, like, can you wait a minute? Can you wait a minute so I could grab the dog? And and he didn't, and he just went into his car, and I kept saying, please, just stop. Like, he wouldn't stop. He drives up, it was a driveway, he drives up the driveway. The dog, I still couldn't catch the dog. It ran up the driveway and out onto this busy street. And I got up, I ran as fast as I could, and I got up the top of the driveway, and I watched, it was pouring rain, I watched the dog get hit, and I saw who it was, and there was a church like a block away, and it literally was the priest. And I lied to the police and told them that I didn't see who did it because I don't know why. I thought it was the wrong thing to do to, like, report a priest. And so anyway, I grabbed the dog, and it passed away in my arms. I had blood all over me.
Did he stop?
No, he never stopped, and nobody stopped to help me. My mother had come out, kind of heard, like, the commotion had come out, and she went back in and called 911. And by the time the police got there, he was, you know, whatever. He wasn't. But to this day, it really shakes me up. Animals are amazing.
Well, of
They're wonderful
course,
friends.
it's a traumatic
and pets.
experience to watch anyone on any level, whether you're human or you're, you know, an animal, to be harmed is a traumatic experience. To see, you know, you really get an understanding of people. I did in that moment. I think that's why I was so hysterical. Not just the fact that they were hit, but that no one gave, like, a hell about them.
Yeah.
They didn't stop. They didn't even blink. It was kind of just like, whatever. And the more that I started to, you know, post on my page on Facebook, because I couldn't do this on Instagram. It was just I was traumatized. I couldn't sleep. The more I heard stories about people get off on hitting animals, and sometimes they speed up. And all the different people that messaged and commented about, you know, the different work that they do. And then others were saying, oh, well, I called the facility that you went to, and they told me they found the owner and this and that, and that the dog has rights and this and that, and which I know they didn't find the owner. I mean, the dog was in no state to be just not looked after. He was hit by multiple cars.
Wow. Completely
traumatized. But, you know, when you're talking about this, the reason it's probably so traumatic for you is if you haven't spoken about it. You know, that's why immediately when it happened, I wrote it. I wrote in my insanity to get it out because it was too nutty to hold that in.
Well, I mean, I think that's true, and
you should talk about it more because it still upsets you.
It does, absolutely. It haunts me to this day. And I think it was a terrible, terrible thing, but I agree with you that people...
But you were really young, too. You were a kid, so
yeah.
that's kind of hard to process at that age.
But people are horrible, and I think that they need to be better, especially with animals. Animals are great. They're good family members. They're caring. They're loving.
They're great for people with illnesses, whether they be mental or physical. I mean...
That's why I love what you've done, and you've gone... I mean, not everybody can have 4 dogs and 2 cats, but you've gone and adopted another pet, and I think that's phenomenal. Jenny is watching in Finland. He's in our chat room, and he says, way to go, Kaya. And you guys can, by the way, go to read about this on her Facebook page. It is facebook.com/Kaya's Music, and you can find out more about the situation and the do's and don'ts and stuff like that. I'm glad you posted that, too.
Well, I'm posting a ton of stuff now because I actually said this yesterday. I said, I vow that I'm going to open, you know, or it wasn't yesterday, the day before. I said, I vow I'm going to open a no-kill shelter that has 24-hour emergency care. And because I just feel it needs to happen. Like, if the only place that I know is on the other side of town and there's nothing here, and going down there, and I've adopted pets from there. I adopted my cat from there on 4th of July weekend. They do specials, you know, if the cat's been there a certain amount of time, they do $4 specials. Every city has, and the reason why people need to know about these specials is because a lot of people go to those adoption places or they look online and they see $200 for an adoption. And that will stop them because $200 is maybe 2 bills or 3 bills or 1 major bill for your home. And so it's not something you can afford to do. But I went down there, they had cats for $20. And that's what we spend on a lunch. You know what I mean? $50 on a dinner. It's like, if you do that, you know, and you realize, like, my breed, she was listed at $155, but because she is a common breed, she's a Chihuahua, and they're very common and they get euthanized a lot, that ended up being $77 plus tax. So it's so not what people think it is. If you find a good shelter, just go to the shelter.
I don't know why people don't like Chihuahuas. Nikki is a Chihuahua Dachshund mix, and she's unbelievable, and I think they're great dogs. I will say
we have one that's half.
What I was going to say is that the one thing that people, you kind of brought this up, that is really important is if you're going to adopt a dog or a cat, and I really recommend that you do, especially instead of buying one. But if you're going to do it, be prepared for the responsibility of it and be prepared for the expense. Because if you're not, then you shouldn't be doing it, because then you just either put the animal back into a shelter or you abandon the animal, and that's not good. So it's great to do it. Just make sure that you have the ability to do it and you're ready for that commitment. But you should absolutely adopt a pet. And I think you should know too that kill shelters there are too many of them, and that's a great place to adopt a pet from. But unfortunately, the kill shelters, a lot of times in New York, people will call the day the animal is supposed to be put down, and they'll say, I want to adopt it, and they'll say, no, it's already too far in the process. So don't wait till the last minute and be cognizant of that too.
Definitely don't. This one is, they try their hardest, you know, it's called LIED, L-I-E-D, if you're in Nevada. They try their hardest to not euthanize the pet. Right now they are over capacity, so what they try to do is foster them out, because it is, you know, and a lot of, you know, the cats there, like this dog, she's 3 years old, but she's 5 pounds. She's tiny. She's not a puppy, but, you know, she needs a good home. There's a lot of pets there. And, you know, my girlfriend got a Shih Tzu. She paid and adopted a Shih Tzu yesterday. And making sure that, you know, and that one, because she was 4 years old, it was slated at $255. And end of the day when we go to she goes to adopt it, it was $125 because she was 4 years old. So a lot of the time they have this price, but because of the age or the breed, they'll actually deduct. And you should check that out. I think you need to investigate. I've been really lucky with my pets that they've been very healthy, and God bless that, because I haven't really had too much hiccups when it comes to their health, knock on wood, thus far. But you know, there are a lot of animals that, you know, even if it's a good 2 years they get of peace, they just can't be in those kennels. Those kennels are so tiny, they get really sick, and they will end up dying in there, you know. So if you can't give them 10 years because they don't have that much long left, or they are maybe sick, you might give them 2 wonderful years that they wouldn't have had.
Well, and it's not only you giving them 2 wonderful years,
they give you so much more.
Exactly. It's so true.
Oh my gosh.
It's so true.
So much more. They're my therapy. I mean, I'd be insane if I didn't have my own.
So you have Elsa, you've got...
Elsa. I have Elsa got up when I said that. I have Pepe, Kimba, and the new baby, which we haven't named her yet. I'm asking for names. So any of you guys have some good names? I posted a picture of me and her on my Facebook. Send me some names.
All right.
And then we have Monroe and Diamond,
Monroe,
which are the two Monroe
cats.
And Diamond,
I like
the
that.
kitties.
And so maybe the Terrifics will send in a name now. I know Paul Dixon's watching from the UK, and he said, right on, Kaya. So maybe he'll come up with a name, or Janny or Digital Phil or somebody who's in our chat. Maybe we'll come up with a name, and if not, then hopefully somebody will go to your Facebook page. I love what you're doing, and I like the idea that you want to open a no-kill shelter / 24-hour emergency room. I think that's really terrific.
And you know, you care, and like so many others care, and I realized how many others care, because in the chain of all of this, then I hear Miley Cyrus has seen my post because we have mutual friends. Her makeup artist, in fact, is a good friend, and her daughter modeled for my clothing line, Hollywood Doll. And so Sharon's like, Miley saw your post, and Miley sent pictures of her little babies. You know, Miley's a big one on philanthropy work with animals as well. Miley Cyrus, that is, if nobody knows Miley. But that'd be shocking if nobody knew.
I think that's the only Miley.
I think she's on a one-name basis.
I was going to say, like Madonna, Cher, Miley.
Right? I can say that with people knowing worldwide. Okay, just making sure.
Even Britney. And
Britney,
you know, and,
of course Britney.
Yeah, and I think Kaya as well.
I would like to think so, but I mean, I don't know. That would be cool if so. Yeah. But those are a list of really cool names, so.
Yes, absolutely. That's pretty cool. It's cool that she was checking out your Facebook page too, and I think it is good that she also is very involved. And there are a lot of people. Howard Stern's wife, Beth Stern, is very involved in the North Shore Animal League here on the East Coast.
A lot of people, and it's I think, you know, it's the same thing with, like, you know, anything that you do in philanthropy work. There's a lot of people. I think when it comes to animals, my friend Katie Cleary, she did a great movie actually. And I'm plugging her movie because it's pretty good. It's called Gimme Shelter. And it's a great movie about what you think is actually just about animals or dogs. And she goes as far as to link it back to, and it has tons of celebrities in this film. And she produced it and got this done and took it to Cannes, and it's gotten incredible reviews. And it goes all the way back to, we will eventually be extinct because we're a chain. And everything in the chain matters. You know, the sharks in the chain matter. They give our water salt. Everything in the chain matters. And when we lose things in that chain, we're only slowly, you know, changing our existence in this earth. Yeah. So it's a really good film of not just what you think is going to be, oh my gosh, dogs, 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 you know, cats, cats. She goes to horses, then to whales, and it gets to this place where you're like, whoa. Right back to the human existence, and it's a really, really good film.
Wow.
So if you love animals or like care about definitely the environment, you should check that movie out.
I would like to check that movie out. You know, it's interesting when you're a kid.
You should have her on your show.
I would love to. Can you help us set that up?
I will gladly help that. She's a gem and a sweetheart.
That would be great. And I think, you know, when you're a kid, you think of, oh, well, that shark doesn't matter, or this bumblebee doesn't matter, or this animal doesn't matter. And then when you realize what they all play and in how they all play into the environment, they all matter, and we all matter, and it's really very interesting. And without, there's like this give and take, and without, you know, sharks, we'd have a major problem. Without bees, we'd have a problem. Without this, we'd have a problem. And it really is interesting. And
we're coming up to that with bees, and I mean.
Yeah.
And I'm a singer, so just even thought of like no honey, are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
I started using honey for my voice last year when in the winter I had a sore throat and I couldn't get rid of it in a cough.
You're on air, you know, you're a correspondent that's talking all the time, so your voice is now your instrument, you know?
Not like yours, but yes, exactly. I need to be able to talk. I was like,
talking is harder actually on the voice than singing.
Is it really?
Yep.
I did not
because you're doing it a lot in the throat. You're not doing it from the diaphragm. If you go to like vocal coaching or anything like this, you can learn to talk from your diaphragm a little bit more, or your chest. But typically, that's why we go on vocal rest, where your singers, we don't speak for days.
Right, of course. What would I sound like if I talked from my chest? I wonder, like, hi, how you doing? I don't know. What would I sound like?
Well, you know, your shoulders would be a bit more back.
Okay.
And it would resonate in here. If you're speaking from, like right now, I'm talking right from my diaphragm.
You are? Wow.
So yeah, every single, like if you see my diaphragm, it goes in and it goes out, like I'm catching a football. So you think about it like catching a football. And I try to actually talk a lot from my diaphragm. That's actually how you can, when a singer is being interviewed or you're talking to a singer, people can peg it because their tone. Their tone is interesting, or you can, you know, when you hear Mariah Carey, for sure you can hear because it's a muscle, you can hear the stretching in her muscle, her voice.
How often are you on vocal rest?
Not nearly enough.
I can't imagine.
Not nearly enough.
I can't imagine being on vocal rest. I'm sure that Greg could imagine that, but I can't imagine that. And I don't mean him being on vocal rest. I mean me being on vocal rest.
Well, you could be. You know, you just walk around with something that looks kind of like this. Okay. And
Mine would be an
Android
iPad,
Whiz.
by the way, just so you know.
I mean, it was actually great because I had one assistant. She was amazing. She could read my lips or actually two assistants. That's not true. And he could too. They got so good around me that I could mouth it and they could read my lips. Because that became frustrating. You know, sometimes writing something down
Of course.
when it's vital and you're just like, you know, you have to be patient. The people around you also have to just be intuitive and patient and understand that, you know, I mean, Celine Dion goes on vocal rest for sometimes 2 days, and
Wow.
that's usually on her off days. I mean, you're an athlete. It's just a different kind of
Right.
athlete. It's an internal. So
No,
you have to steam and that kind of stuff.
No,
but stay
absolutely.
away from lemon.
Really? That's what everybody
Yes.
says. Honey and lemon. You stay away from the
No.
lemon.
Lemon dries you out.
All right.
Anything citrus-based, alcohol, these kinds of things dry out your throat. So I would highly suggest
Staying away.
ginger.
Okay.
If you lose your voice ever, you shave in shavings ginger root into a huge pot. You drink that whole thing with honey, and it will clear up even laryngitis.
Wow. Well, I hope I don't need that. I use Fisherman's Friends. I don't know if you've ever tried those. They're amazing throat lozenges.
Actually, you know, Fisherman's is good. You know what's a really good one is the Ludens.
You like the Ludens? Those are like candy, though. Do they do anything?
They are like candy. They do. They're not harsh. They're very smooth and soothing. And they actually, I was turned on to them, and then they sent me a ton of shipment because I put out a tweet like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are really cool and awesome, and I love your brand." And they sent me never-ending Ludens products. Like, they really are good at being very soothing. You need soothing things on the throat. You know, chewing gum, that's bad for the throat. It's a lot of your tongue muscles and that kind of stuff.
Excellent.
Even though I love gum.
Yeah.
If
Do
it's
you?
singing day.
I haven't chewed gum in years. I mean, occasionally, like once in a while, but I don't really
I
chew
chew a lot of gum.
Do you? I don't know. It's not, I mean, I don't mind it. I don't not like it. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to get the bubble tape. Do you remember that?
Bubble tape's awesome.
And but you didn't do this because I wanted to be a big leaguer.
Yeah.
I would put a whole pack in my mouth and be like,
oh my God, do you remember the Big League?
the Big League Chew.
Hello.
Oh my God, I'd take the whole pack of Big League Chew and stick it right here.
Yeah, because I wanted to be a baseball player. I
Did
used
you?
to collect, oh my gosh. I collected cards.
Who was your favorite player?
Babe Ruth. I had 2 Babe Ruth cards.
You had 2 Babe Ruth cards?
Original cards that came literally in the package of bubble gum.
Wait a second. How did you have 2 Babe Ruth cards? Those things.
My grandma bought them for me at a auction.
Real Babe Ruth cards?
Real Babe Ruth cards, and I actually lost both of them. They were in a Bible and when I'm on tour, I would carry, like, you know, my candles or things that, like, you know, I mean, at one point on tour, I had like a life coach at one point, but you know, you can get kind of crazy on tour with, like, you know, because you're like, I need sanity and serenity, and, you know, you go into that whole space. But I had a Bible, and inside of the Bible, I had my mom had tucked the cards, thinking I was not going to take the Bible on the road.
Yeah.
And I kept taking it on the road, and I kept seeing the cards, and I was like, oh, I've got to, like, take the cards out. And going through security at one of the airports, I left the Bible.
Wow.
No one found the Bible, of course, because it had to really.
I'm sure 2 security guards found the Bible.
Since I was 6 years old.
Wow. Wow. That's unbelievable. That's unreal.
But I collected everyone. I mean, I collected every baseball card. I loved baseball when I was little.
So what's your team?
I loved, like, Sandlot.
Oh my God, I was just talking about that yesterday. That's the best movie ever.
Movie.
Benny the Jet.
Hello.
And the PF Flyers. Oh, I want to get a pair of
Little
PF Flyers.
Giants. I was obsessed with Little Giants. I wanted to be a Little Giant. Are you kidding me?
I wanted to be the kid in the movie where he what's the one where he all of a sudden has the magic arm, where he, like, falls and breaks his arm and he plays for the Cubs? Rookie of the Year. I wanted to be
Rookie of the Year was a great movie.
Did you watch?
Because he had the magic arm, and then it got taken away.
It got taken away, and he still gets the out, right, in the big game with the with, like, the off-speed pitch or something.
When the mom was like, blow it. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember the mom was the actual player, wasn't the dad? And she's like, blow it.
Yes.
I remember all of those. Those were my jam.
Now, did you watch like Bill Durham when you were a kid too, and Major League? Because I watched those when I was a kid somehow.
Yeah.
I love those movies, and Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams is a great one. Build it and they will come. That was my
Yeah.
whole motto with like all of my brands was like, oh, if they don't get it, I'm just gonna do it. Build it and they will come.
Oh my God, I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. For Bull Durham, I love that line or that scene with Kevin Costner and Tim Robbins, which I guess it's Susan Sarandon, right? And he's like, she's like, "Do you believe in God?" And he's like, "I believe in the fastball." What does he say? Like, somebody's got to help me out with this. One of the Terrifics got to help me out with this. Like, I believe in the fastball. It's something like, I believe in the fastball. I believe in running on 2 strikes and like something else. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's all baseball stuff. And
Yes,
he goes into this whole
now
rant.
it's clicking. When you're saying it, I'm remembering it.
And then Major League, of course, with Charlie Sheen as Rick Vaughn. That
was a great movie.
Yeah, that was an amazing movie. I love that.
I was obsessed with that and like Little Man Tate.
Which one?
Little Man Tate. Do you remember?
No, I never saw that.
Never saw that? It was like this genius kid. Oh, Kimba, he's sneezing. Come here.
Pick
my
up
little
Kimba.
one.
We got to see Kimba.
Kimba, come here. You want to say hi? Want to say hi on camera? He has been in many interviews. Actually, his first interview, he was a whole of like couple months.
Oh, it's so cute. Looks like a little bear.
Say hi.
Oh my God. All right, we got to play some of your music. I want to get you in here one day to sing, by the way.
I would love to.
We got to get you in
You
studio.
want to say hi?
There's no doubt about that. Hi, Kimba. How are you? So cute. How old is Kimba?
Very good. Kimba is 4.
4. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
He's
was
a
going
whole
to guess.
5 pounds of
Wow.
4. And the other one that I'm picking up today, she's another little one. And we have Elsa. And Pepe is like about 15, 20 pounds. And then
Wow.
Elsa's she's the Rottweiler. She's the beast.
She's
She's gonna
big.
come say hi. You're gonna come say hi. Come, Elsa. Come here.
Oh, wow. We get to see Elsa. I like this.
Come say hi.
I like big dogs. I like little dogs. I like all dogs. Oh, Elsa's
Elsa.
beautiful. Wow.
She's a sweet girl.
She looks very friendly.
As you can hear, Kimba doesn't like attention without. He doesn't deal well. Come here, Kimba.
So
Come here.
Elsa looks like an angel. So since
She is.
Elsa looks like an angel, why don't we play Angel from your new album?
Aw, that'd be great. Angel's actually doing really well in Europe right now, so
And then you can tell us about it after we play it. How's that sound?
that sounds good.
Greg, are we ready with Angel?
Ready to dance? To Angel?
All right. So Greg's going to play Angel, and
Awesome.
we're going to, I guess we're just going to talk about it afterwards. Greg, take it away. Wait, hold on, Greg. Hold on. Let me give it a little. All right, hold on. Here we
You're
go.
gonna give it an intro.
Yeah. Let me. Now, can I talk over the intro? I mean, are the
course.
lyrics going to start immediately, or can I talk it up a little?
Yeah, it's fine. The
do you
reggae
think?
one, it has an intro, and the other one doesn't have much of an intro. But either way.
It doesn't have much of an intro. All right, then I'll cue Greg. You ready for this? Welcome to WBTC, Be Terrific Radio. All right, we've got Kaya Jones, her newest album, and this is Angel.
Ooh, 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 ooh. And I promise you, my baby, now I won't let you down.
Baby, I'm an angel. Please don't be a stranger. Open up your heart and see all the love inside. It's just from me. Baby, I'm an angel. Please don't be a stranger. Baby, I will set you free. All the love inside is just for me.
I feel alive now, baby, somehow. You raise me up and love me when I was down. Now you're mine, I won't give up. You give me light, I will wake up. I feel alive now, baby, somehow. You raise me up and love me when I was down. And I promise you, my baby, now I won't let you down.
Baby, I'm an angel. Please don't be a stranger. Open up your heart and see all the love inside. It's just from me. Baby, I'm an angel. Please don't be a stranger. Baby, I will set you free. All the love inside is just for me. A million years if I could live, 1,000 lives if I could give, I would spend it all again with you. Don't forget where you belong. Only with me you are strong. Not even the gods above can break, baby, what we have. Baby, I'm an angel. Please don't be a stranger. Open up your heart and see all the love inside. It's just from me. Baby, I'm an angel. Please don't be a stranger. Baby, I will set you free. All the love inside is just for me.
Rode microphones are the official microphones of Be Terrific. Find out more at rodemic.com. Welcome back to the Michael Artsis Show. You're the Terrifics. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for joining us. You make Be Terrific special at Be Terrific TV on all social media. And don't forget to join our Slack chat, beterrific.com/Slack. Conversation goes 24 hours a day with us, you, and the rest of the Terrifics. And when we're on air, we can ask your questions, read your comments, all that fun stuff. All right, I've got Kaya Jones on Skype. She's unbelievable. We've been having a lot of fun. We just played Angel from her new album, which is out on iTunes, Android, and everywhere else right now. You have to buy the album. It's phenomenal. Kaya, tell me about Angel. What inspired you for this song?
Angel, oh, that's actually a good one. That's a very interesting question. I was sent the request to do a song with these guys out of Romania. They actually were part of a group called Accent, and they are now together doing a band called Two. they've had a lot of #1s over there. They're consecutive. They're very, very talented guys. They write, they produce. So I knew we were going to write something cool. They had a concept, an idea. I had stayed in a hotel, and the hotel I was in, the night before I go to record, you could say the promoting aspect of it was not very professional. There was a lot of drama that took place at the show. Afterwards, I came back to the hotel because I usually go to the hotel and just go to sleep. And they just put me in a really weird mood. And I decided to sit downstairs and just, you know, talk with the guy that was actually running the front desk, oddly enough, because I was having my tea and he was running the front desk. And it was a very boutique hotel. And he basically said that he has multiple personalities. His wife is this angel in his life. I know it's random, this description, but his wife is this angel in his life, and that he's a really sad person. He's just very sad. He's depressed. He goes through ups and downs. He has multiple personality disorder. He thinks about killing people sometimes. He thinks about doing really bad things. He's never done those things, but he thinks about it, and he tries to not do those things. He paints, he's an artist, and he painted a picture, and he shows me the picture of what looks like a fallen angel. And it just kind of, you know, we then went into this whole discussion about faith, about belief, about why he has these ups and downs and all this stuff. And it was a long conversation. I mean, mind you, my bodyguard's there the whole time. And I mean, you know,
I was going to say, like,
yeah.
You're like, he's telling you he thinks about killing people. And look, I mean, I feel terrible for the guy. He's got multiple
psychotic. You know, it's a psychotic person. It's a person that has a psychotic mind. And the thing is that I mean,
Greg only thinks about killing people on Tuesdays, which is good. So I just stay away from him on Tuesdays.
No, I wasn't prepared. But, you know, I feel like every artist is like they're connecting to something on a level. Like, that's the whole part of being an artist or being involved in, you know, anything on a forefront is because you want to help people in general, right? So I have a lot of people that will tell things to me that they probably wouldn't share with normally. They wouldn't share this with people, but they may trust that I'm not going to be judgmental. And he just kind of shared.
Well,
and
it's interesting because I'm not a judgmental person, but if somebody was like, yeah, I think about killing people, I'd be like,
No, it was a really crazy conversation.
Yeah, I could imagine.
He definitely.
No, and I'm not trying to make fun of the guy at all. I swear.
No. But I am with you on it, because even just relaying it, it's a very strange conversation. And the conversation also, it ended with, you know, belief and faith. And I kind of just said to him, you know, I think that, you know, you're lucky with your wife, you know, that you have such a wonderful human being in your life that loves you so much and has been grounding for you, you know, and those things and those thoughts, you know, they're not of you if you don't allow them to be, and you can throw them away, you know, and hone in on what you're really meant to be here for, which is a positive thing. And it went into, like, you know, me giving this guy advice, and then going to sleep and feeling really, and going into recording with these guys the next day. And I went downstairs and he wasn't there, and that was odd because he was supposed to be working. He wasn't there. So I went into the studio and I told the guys what I experienced, and they were like, whoa, you know, we were just talking about energy and positivity and, you know, faith and belief. And, you know, sometimes you don't want to tell people what you believe in because you're afraid you'll scare them. They don't want to reveal, you know, their religious beliefs or their faiths or whatever it is, because they don't want you to judge it. But at the same time, they don't want you to feel like, you know, they're judging you. Sure. So we had this conversation in the recording studio, and after talking to them about this guy and this woman, we said, you know, why don't we do something about, you know, if you could be someone's angel, if you could be that thing for them that kept them on that path, like that wife, that, or they were that for you, and you could save each other from all of your problems or your issues, then that would be a really beautiful thing. That a human being could be an angel in your life. And so that's where we kind of wrote it from. and then we recorded it. I recorded it. I say we because the producers were there. We wrote it, recorded it, and it was done. This was like midnight. We went into the studio. We had a long powwow. 4 o'clock, I was out of the studio.
Wow.
So we recorded it. 9 a.m. I left for the actual video shoot, and I was handed a letter from the front desk, and it was the guy had written me a letter, and he had taken off a month of work and said that the conversation made him really think about maybe finding himself and finding maybe a doctor or some faith to heal. It's crazy, and that it kind of shifted him. So he took off work, and he was really grateful for meeting me and thanking me, and had no idea that I had just written a song and recorded it, let alone that it's not on the charts there, and doing he had no idea. But that's sometimes how you write songs, is like somebody, affects you. Like Rise of the Phoenix, I wrote about Lorin Scott,
Sure.
Mick Jagger passed with Katy Perry, and he, is an awesome friend, awesome human being, incredible artist, and his really, really important person in his life, she took her life, and it was everywhere in the media and everywhere in the press, and I was going into the recording studio, and I just felt like, not that I was connected to her in any way that would make me feel like I had to write a song about her, but I did feel that, wow, how many people are going through that right now?
Sure.
That they need to take their life. So I wrote Rise of the Phoenix on the tip of, your life has only begun, and you only have one, and, you can rise up. You don't need to let it take over your life in that kind of way. So a lot of the songs I write are about other people, not necessarily about me.
It's very, very interesting. First of all, I think Angels are, seriously, it's a really touching story, and it's amazing. And I love that you helped that guy, and you almost paid it forward for, I remember you telling us the last time that you were in a taxi cab and a taxi driver helped you out greatly.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure you're not done paying it forward, but
no. But a lot of people don't know that about me, though. That's the thing, is I feel like, because I haven't done a lot of interviews about most of my art is someone I met or someone in passing changed my life, and I want to try and change things through my music. So it's only thing that I feel like I'm decent at is I can write a song, and I like writing. And I mean, I've always written poetry. Like, as a kid, I have a poem about JonBenet Ramsey. I mean, anything that was dark and awful in life, I would write poems about it.
Wow.
I'd write poems about, like, any pain, anything that was painful that I maybe didn't endure, but I was very empathetic to hearing about someone going through pain, and that pain was the existence of what we as human beings, love is one part of our correlation, and on the opposite is pain. And most people are in a lot of pain. They're in pain physically, so they take drugs, emotionally, so they do things to others or manipulate situations, and pain is a very key thing. They're going through financial pain. There could be many types of pain, but that is a very clear line of what people are going through in this world all around, whether they're starving or they're suffering or they're hurt, they're going through pain. And pain is to me, writing about that, writing songs about that. Like, how can we change pain into love? Then that's an interesting thought.
I was just about to say that I feel like you're almost like a healer. Like you.
I would love to think that, but I don't think that. I don't think that I'm a healer, but I would like to.
Well, you are, but you help people, and you help them through your art, through your music,
people,
and you help them by talking to them and helping them out and talking things through, and also being open. I mean, I think that when you were so open the last time you were on the show, that helped people, and it helps people. And my grandmother committed suicide, my mother's mother, and I was 8 years old, and I don't really remember it much, but it was a horrible experience for the family, And
Oh, it's horrific.
yeah,
It's horrific for the people that are left behind.
And I always think it's such a silly thing to do, because tomorrow will always, you can always make tomorrow better, and things can always get better, and you just have to believe in yourself, and you have to rise above, and you really have to put everything that's negative behind you and only, focus forward. Somebody said the other day, and I thought this was great, just look out the front windshield. Don't worry about anything else. Just look out the front windshield. You're on a road, just look out the front windshield. And it's, you really have the ability to change. So I love that you do that. And by the way, you're more than, you said you're only good at singing, or you're only good at this. You're definitely more than just good at that. You have a lot of talents.
Well, it's what I know, right? It's what I like being artistic. I love art, and I make clothes too and stuff like that. But, I didn't go to design school. There's a lot of people that did, and I, by no means am I like, well, I'm a designer. It's like, no, I design clothes, and I write songs, and I never went to school for that either. But I did, train as a classical violinist from I was 4 till I was 15.
Wow.
So understanding BPMs or syncopation or a modulation or music in general, I feel like I speak that language very comfortably. Writing poetry, I always wrote poetry, and when we talk about rap being rhythm and poetry, that's what it's supposed to stand for, but somehow we get thrown off that it's not really about that. It's the same thing with music in general. It's a rhythmic and the timing of the phrasing of the story. What's the story? And I love great stories, but all the stories that I love are, but I think that's every American or just worldwide. We want to hear there's an up, there's a down, there's a cathartic, it's cathartic, there's a journey. And you got to kind of go through that journey. But I do feel a lot of people help me too. Maybe I don't convey that because sometimes it's hard to say a lot of people help me, but there's people that, that guy at that hotel helped me recognize what's very real to someone, when people say, oh, feelings, it's your feelings. No, if you feel something, then it's very real, okay? Who is anyone to say what you feel is not a real thing because they don't feel it? That doesn't mean that it's not real or it doesn't exist. I also have a whole theory about mental illness not really being real. It's just if they're going through something to them and they know what they're going through, we have someone in my family who's mentally ill. And my sister said to me, I just being around it and I can't take it and this and that. And I said to her, but imagine being that person.
Sure.
And in that body and going through that, and not being able to stop it. So you're upset because it affects you, but what do you think it does to that person?
Right.
And they can't stop it. That's so much more scary than, so for a few minutes, if you appease what they're going through so they don't feel nuts for a second, I mean, what have you lost in your day, to do something okay for someone who's going through some mental anguish. And a lot of the time with, definitely with suicide, it's so internal pain that it's scary. And I think I've always been attracted to that really dark side because I feel like I have a lot of people that are dangling very close seem to me because it fulfills a void in me to help them, and as I know that I only wish that I could help them, but I mean, I really think anything that I could do to help them is just maybe opening up their eyes to how beautiful they are. It's not, I don't really, because there's so many people you can't help. And, it's like, even when we're talking about the dogs, there's so many animals you can't help. You can't save everybody,
Sure.
But if you do implement what you're about as an artist, or you're trying to put forward a positive message, even in your show, and with sharing what you just shared, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know that about your grandmother, that's heavy.
Yeah.
And it affects the family so much because they feel like, what could they have done? Why,
Sure.
It's a heavy thing, and it's a dark thing. And so when you can try and make a reckoning of it and an understanding of it. I mean, you know, even when you think of Columbine and people that kill people and shoot people and hurt people and for what, and you know, it literally is something that goes so awry in their own pain that they have to inflict pain on other people, including themselves.
Yeah.
And that's a shame.
It's
a shame. It's really sad.
It is a shame, and I think that's well said. And I think that I mean, honestly, I'm kind of smirking because I don't want it to seem like I'm being, you know, facetious here. But I mean, I think you're an amazing person. You're very talented, but you're also very caring, and you're very positive, and you
Thank you.
You look to give back all the time, and I think
you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Too.
Well, and that's the whole point of Be Terrific, right? That is the whole premise.
Be terrific.
Be terrific, exactly. So, I want to play another song.
Yeah.
Let's play the. Let me see right here. Hold on. Release the Energy. Can we play that one? Is that the remix of Release the Energy?
That's actually the new one. This is the new one from DJ. He's actually E-Man on Power 106.
Okay.
And DJ Icon, who actually is pretty well known in Vegas. He opens up a lot for Tiesto and stuff like that. He's really well accomplished. This is their mix. I mean, when I heard it, I was like, this is not even the same song. It's so much more fun. I love this song.
All right.
I wish I could I need to redo a video for this one because this one's better than the last one, I feel. So good.
You know what? I think the last one was great, but we're going to play this one and the...
Well, no, I mean the original Release the Energy.
Right. No, I know. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm with you here.
I thought you meant Angel. I was like, well, they're really different, but...
I'm on top of it. I know what's going on. I don't just pretend. I don't just play somebody who pretends to know what's going on TV. I actually know. All right, so we're going to play Release the Energy. This is the remix.
It's a great stage I have right here in my office with the vision boards and websites, Vegas album release, the Vegas show we're working on, all that stuff.
That's pretty awesome.
Hilarious.
I'm going to be in Vegas. We're going to be doing, you got to come to the set and check it out.
When?
If you're going to be, October 17th we land, and then I think the 19th, 20th, and 21st we do shows from, I don't know, somewhere in Vegas from the FAA MA show, which is an
And then when do you guys leave?
the 21st of October.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. You're not going to be in
I have my
town.
album release on the 23rd.
Oh, we have to be back in New York for Photo Plus. Oh, my God. Oh, can we do like a pre-release Be Terrific party at night?
We could, but that's where it's going to be. It's going to be at the bank.
All right, we're going to talk about this. All right, we're going to play Release the Energy right now. And this is the remix, and we're going to figure out the rest. All right.
As
Greg.
you can see, I'm in my workout gear because I got to go to the gym at some point today.
Well, and you got a puppy to pick up.
I know. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
What is your workout gear? What is that, by the way? That looks like it's not Lululemon, is it?
No.
It's not.
No, it's just these are my pants are I think are K-Swiss. This is an Adidas and Nike. I mix them all up.
You know, and
They would not be happy. They'd be like Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss.
Do you work on your outfits for the gym, or you just take anything?
No, I mean, whatever I have that's clean that I can work out in. I mean, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'm not in LA right now, you know what I mean? When I'm in LA, I feel like it's like you have to look a certain way all the time. But, you know, when I'm in my hometown, I'm in Vegas, and it's like and the gym is really private. It's a very expensive, hardy gym. So not that many people are going to be like, you know, there's a lot of people that work on the shows or like Britney's camp that would be there, but you know, they're not really evasive. You know, no one's going to come up and talk to you. There's a level of privacy at that gym.
I always feel like I'd feel better about working out if I had like an outfit that looked good. I just wear a t-shirt and Nick shorts and
I don't want to get recognized usually. So I'll have like my hair pulled back or glasses or
goggles. You put goggles on.
Yeah, I won't look quite like this. It'll kind of be like that. And the hair will be like with the cap.
Yeah, you don't look like anybody special with a sequined hat pulled down like this.
Yeah, you know exactly. Ha ha, you're funny.
All right.
You're funny.
Hey, well, I'm going to give this one a different intro. How about that? This is Release the Energy on WBTC. I just made that part up.
Speaking of the gym, go release your energy.
Yes, release your energy. Coming up from Kaya Jones. Greg, take it away.
J. Quan for the record, baby.
Are you ready for catastrophe?
golfing, baby, bossing, baby. Hold shop at one store, that Nordstrom, baby. Flossing, baby. Ice so yellow, caution, baby. Flow so sick, coughing, baby. I'm a fresh to death, coughing, baby. Mama Cedar, won't you hop in my two-seater? We gon' ride and drop the top. Watch for cops, my whip ain't legal. We gon' kick it like Adidas. Crank about the speakers. Our enemy won't sympathy when we release the energy.
Are you ready? Are you ready for catastrophe? When we release the energy, are you ready?
I'm ready,
Are
baby.
you ready for catastrophe? I can feel the earth shaking under my feet. Something's going down. Are you feeling the heat? Yeah. Do you hear the sound? Do you hear the sound? Do you hear the sound of the breaking ground? Girls, we gotta send a warning ASAP, 'cause we're gonna blow the scale when we tear up the streets. Yeah. Do you hear the sound? Do you hear the sound? Do you hear the sound of the breaking ground? When we release the energy, are you ready? Are you ready for catastrophe? When we release the energy, are you ready? Are you ready for catastrophe?
Baby girl, I'm fire, talking hotter than a dryer. Came with her friends, sipping gin and papaya. Yeah. Gin and papaya, plus they rolling like a tire. Even though she favor Maya, she not cuter than my Kaya. Yeah. When I see you smile, I know that it's real. Keep knocking them out. Holyfield, got these hoes scared. Cloverfield, too emotional. You know it's the pills. I'm high as hell, Kai.
We'll go to the extreme, you know the time and place. Rockin' so hard, shaking planets in space. Yeah. Do you hear the sound? Do you hear the sound? Do you hear the sound of the breaking ground? If you're ready for disaster, come and join us tonight. We'll take you to the next level, 'cause let's take it high. Do you hear the sound? Do you hear the sound? Do you hear the sound of the breaking ground?
Wait, Kaya, you a cute ass white girl.
When we release the energy,
Yeah.
are you ready? Are you ready?
J-Quan for the record, baby.
Are you ready for catastrophe? When we release the energy, are you ready? Are you ready for catastrophe?
Have homie.
Are you ready?
I feel like I just released the energy. That was an amazing song. It's on Kaya Jones' new album. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it in Google Play. It's all
I have
over the
one
place.
here.
You have one there. A real CD. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're gonna be in stores.
That is pretty cool.
It's coming.
You know what? Like, we need one in here to put like on the set.
I know.
Yeah, we
I
definitely.
gotta
do.
get that.
It's a pretty awesome song.
Send me your address and I'll send one out.
That I will absolutely. The Terrifics are loving it, by the way. I only have positive feedback. Love the music. Artsis love the music. Love the music. Love the music. Janny, Digital Phil. We've got CJ, the Extender, Senor Sangria, JT Hockey. I mean, all these guys.
Wow.
And Rob also.
That's so amazing
Yeah.
that you have all these people listening
Yeah, and watching.
and watching. Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's amazing.
We
Listening
hope
and
they're
watching and
I was going to say, we
that's
hope
a,
they're
that's a
watching.
wonderful thing.
But if they want to turn us on in the background and listen, we're good with that too.
No, I don't think that would be happening. They're enjoying it. They're interacting with you, so they have to be watching.
Yes, that's very true. And we did get a couple of names, but none of these were good enough for your puppy. I mean,
Really? Well, how do you know? You don't know.
okay, I'm going to throw one out there. You
Okay.
have an animal named Diamond. That's a cat. So Janny says, how about forever?
Forever.
You know, because diamonds are forever.
Diamonds are forever, but then I would be sad if anything ever happened to her.
But you're going to be sad anyway. So yeah.
I know, but with the name like Forever.
I know.
But that's a good idea. That's still a good idea. There's no bad ideas out there.
Okay, JT Hockey has Precious. I don't know if.
That's fun. That makes me think of the movie.
Okay, and CJ has Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's good. That's different.
And Jaybird has, are you ready for this? Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Yeah.
You know, that was the name of the dog my friend adopted yesterday with
Really?
Jenny.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Actually, this dog's name was Robin, but then, of course, it made me think of
Batman?
Robin Anton.
Okay. I think of Batman.
Well, it made me think of Robin Anton because that's the only Robin I knew. But then I thought Robin was really cool because actually one of the associates with the Grammys that's really amazing, his name is Robin. I just met him, and he made me really like the name again because I didn't like the name. And then he made me like the name again because he's a cool Robin. So then I was like, But then I was like, I could name her Grammy. Then I could name her.
Ooh, Grammy's an interesting one.
I like Grammy because he works for the Grammys, and he made me really feel differently about the name because I went through a lot of pain with that group. I held a lot in.
Now, isn't this album up for a Grammy consideration? Isn't that the talk on the street?
It's submitted. So basically, you know, you submit your content to the Academy. They don't find you. You know, people want to think that they find you. No, they don't find you. They will take a look at it if it's good and you are a member, and if you join. And they do a lot of wonderful things with their association. You know, Music Cares, Grammy Foundation as well. And it goes from helping children all the way to helping other musicians, you know, from simple as insurance, because artists are really good at taking care of music, but they don't know how to take care of themselves. So the Grammy organization does a lot of really cool stuff when it comes to paying it forward. And I'm a member. I've been a member for 5 years, a voting member of the Academy, and I love everything they do. And the more I can get involved, you know, the better. But we just submitted it through for consideration. And so then they listen to it. They actually listen to it in a room. And then they decide from there if you get to be on a ballot or if you get to, you know, get narrowed down to the final 5. So
we're rooting for you.
You get narrowed down from like the 20,000 submissions. I mean, there's a lot of submissions. They narrow down to, in each category, 150 to 200 of the world's top people. I mean, so if you're in that category, you're already doing something right, you know? Last year I was in pop and, you know, you're alongside Taylor Swift and like Madonna and all these people and you're like, okay, I'm definitely not gonna win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was in that category that was with like a lot of really cool people. Miley Cyrus, all these people were there. So it'd be interesting to see. I hope that something happens because that would be awesome.
Well, we're pulling for you. We want you to win. The Terrifics love you. We love you.
Well, then I think it just comes down to the visibility of the album. So we're trying our hardest to make sure more people know about the album and people know they get it. And that's what's been hard. That's the hardest thing when you're independent. When you're an independent artist or when you're doing anything on like a grassroots level, it's tricky. But there's been a lot of excitement stuff moving it forward. So
well,
we'll see.
It sounds a lot like the Emmys, and I feel your pain with that, and it's hard, but you can break through, and you will. And Greg,
you can.
We should at least talk about it every day, Greg, at least for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, we could do that.
That would be awesome. Oh my God.
We're gonna talk about it every day, just to remind everybody. How's that sound?
Yeah, just talk about it. Just feel free. You know, you can go ahead and write on your message boards or write on mine or write anywhere. Write on the Grammy message board. Go ahead, please.
Awesome. You know what?
Because we're not really allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do it. It's kind of their rules. So we're not allowed to You can't be soliciting that kind of stuff.
But we can talk about it and more people hear about it. I mean, you never know. We do about 3 million viewers a month. Maybe some of the voters are watching.
That would be really cool. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the voting members of the Academy are artists, you know, or they've had a lot of involvement.
All right, so we're gonna definitely
never know.
Yeah, and we'll play more of the tracks maybe next week because
Totally.
we're way out of time. But
well, you can play porn star, and that's a whole drama thing too. But I will say this: the whole point of it, so everyone understands, because I have friends that are in that industry, and I also am not in that industry. And the whole point of that song, you know, Rashida Jones just did something really, really cool with a film about porn star, pop star, and I'd written that a while ago. But it's really just about, like, you don't, you know, you as a girl in the genre you're in, I have more integrity and more respect for the girls that have integrity for themselves, that say, I'm a porn star, this is what I am, than people that put themselves out there to be really glossy, and they're actually, you know, like, you know, worse than that. So it's just actually playing on words, just saying you don't have to sell yourself short for being something better.
I like it.
So,
I like it. Well, why don't we play it out? Why don't we play the show out?
It has a lot of Pussycat Doll references, but it's because when I went through that, I felt like I had to make a choice of what I was.
Right. You had
for me,
you had to make a choice if you were going to sell yourself out, basically.
Sell myself out in a way that the public wouldn't have known about. I mean,
right.
It's not like the public knows
what
goes on.
But you
yeah.
know that you've sold your soul.
Yeah, I mean, and that is not for sale. So, you know,
I love
peace out on that one.
It should never be for sale. You're a strong woman. You're an excellent woman. You're a beautiful woman.
One day my kid is going to ask, can they be anything? And I can't be like, well, yeah, you know, mommy has this nice house and the nice school you go to because I laid on my back. I mean, no.
Yeah,
that not because of what I do. If I'm a singer and I'm trying to pay it forward, I'm trying to do all these good things, then I'm not going to do that. If I'm going to do that, then I'm going to own up to that. And that's integrity.
Yeah.
And integrity is something that it doesn't matter what you choose to do in life, just that you do it well and you own what you do.
Well, for example, like I knew a lot of reporters who would sleep their way to the top, and
oh my God, shocking.
Right, but I mean, the reality is that's selling out in the wrong way, and so how they got there, as you're saying, is laying on their back. But
nobody actually says that, you know, because it doesn't say caution, this is a lie, and everyone thinks, well, it's there, you know, you got on the front of the cover, or you're there, but it's like, look, what are we teaching children? What are we teaching the youth of the next generation? That, you know, right now we're teaching them, if you do a sex tape, you're going to be on the cover of Vogue. That's what we're teaching them. And that's not the case with everyone. You know, she happened to also be a very beautiful girl that happened to have a mother that understood the industry, that made it really happen for her. And then, you know, married an incredible, iconic artist, and her herself with her beauty flipped it into something bigger, and her brains and with her brands. But that doesn't happen for everyone. So if you're teaching this to kids, that they think they can do this, and it's going to end up like that, you know, that is 1 in a billion that'll end up like that, and she was that one.
Well, and in her case, I think she was able to really shed that, where a lot of people wouldn't be able to. And
she put herself out there for the criticism.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And she owned it too. But when I talk about like the reporters as well, you're talking about people who then have to live with that and try and figure out later in life, and it does. I see it. It eats at them. I know a reporter who would sleep with athletes for stories, basically, and get all sorts of scoops and leads, and it drives me nuts, actually. I hate that. But the thing is that the problem is that then you sit there, am I good enough? Am I actually good, or did I earn this?
That's it. That is what happens. Yeah. That is exactly what happens.
And it eats at you. It's a demon.
Well, because it is. You question yourself. You question whether you're good at something. And, you know, look, sexuality, we know that sex sells when it comes to advertising, when it comes to certain things and all of this. But if you say that you're motivating, but if you're something else, just own whatever it is that you are. Do not pretend to be something you're not. I love girls that are just very real with who they are.
Yeah.
You know, Pam Anderson is never put a censor on who she is. You know, Miley Cyrus has never put a censor on who she is. Madonna has never put a censor on who she is. And that's integrity in your world. Whether you agree with their career or their craft, that doesn't matter, because they're just being, at the end of the day, that is something you can look at and go, you know, you can then decide whether you want to be a fan or not. But when someone is playing like one way but they're really another way, it's almost disingenuous.
Yes.
I don't know what to believe, and I certainly then don't want to believe in their art, because I don't know if their art is even from a real place.
Right. It all becomes a facade. So I think that's
with me, it's kind of what you see is what you get. I can't shut my mouth about things. I have a hard time doing that. So.
Well, I love that. That's awesome. Real quick, Janny, before we play Porn Star and say goodbye to everybody, Janny says, how about Lulu? He had one more entry. How about Lulu?
How about Lulu? That's a good one.
Yeah, there you go, Janny. He's one of our Terrifics.
Lulu's a good one. That's sweet.
I do like that one. It's kind of nice. That's the best one, I think, from the Terrifics.
You can also post them on my Facebook.
And that's Kaya. That's facebook.com/Kaya's Music. So don't forget to do that. Of course, you have to check out the album, iTunes, Google Play, everywhere. It's been a great week, guys. I got to thank Kaya for coming on and giving us so much of her time. You're amazing. Please don't be a stranger. Come back on again soon. We will play the album a little bit more next week. We're going to leave you with Porn Star. I got to thank Greg and Adam for working so diligently behind the scenes this week and doing an amazing job. If you missed anything during the week, it will air in repeat all weekend long. So you'll check out all the John Starks interviews, including Larry Holmes and Debbie Dunning and Kevin Sorbo Hercules and Lawrence Taylor, as well as the rest of the week of guests, including Kevin J. Anderson. And we also had on a couple other guests this week as well. Thank you guys for watching so much. You make Be Terrific special. You're the Terrifics. Until next week and next time.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up? This is Kaya Jones, aka the Hollywood Doll. Leave me a message.
Hey Kaya, I just wanted to call and let you know that I got the picture, so I'll get those edited and sent back over to you for approval. And just that I miss you. Hope you're doing well. I'm currently picking up one of your PCD sisters, and so far it has been a nightmare. A nightmare. A nightmare.
You don't have to be a porn star if you wanna be a pop star. If you wanna be a pop star, you don't have to be a porn star. 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 Popping your buttons won't make you a singer. A porn star. Porn, porn, porn. You don't have to be a porn star if you wanna be a pop star. If you wanna be a pop star, you don't have to be a porn star. Once I had a friend who wanted to be a star. She said that easy girls make it far. Had a boyfriend in the hills she was cheating on. He thought she was with me till the break of dawn. Instead of using boys, she did the splits. She's in the rain, she thinks she's making hits. Shame you did.